This video is presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Every great team starts with a strong foundation, and your future should too. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect what matters most, so you can focus on winning today while planning for tomorrow. Whether you're just starting your journey, building your dynasty, or ready to retire like a champion, Western and Southern has the right play for your life stage. Visit westernsouthern.com to get your free life insurance quote today. Western and Southern, built to win. First up, Dalton, let's dive into the first game of the playoff. It was Alabama beating Oklahoma by a final score of 34-24. Let's go over the highest grade players in this game, starting off with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Highest grade player for Alabama was the freshman receiver Lahy Brooks, 85.9. Linebacker Deontay Lawson, 78.4. Another linebacker here, Justin Jefferson, 75.1. How about Keon Keeley, man, the former top 5 overall recruit coming out a few years ago with a 73.4 grade for him at edge rusher. The center, Parker Brailsford, 72.6. And Ty Simpson with an outstanding 82.9 grade in this game against Oklahoma. For the Sooners, their highest grade players in the loss, Grayson Halton with a 73.2, offensive guard Febuchi Nwayu with a 72.4, Marvin Jones Jr., 72.1, the edge rusher. And then you got Deion Burks, 71.4. You got Kip Lewis, the linebacker, 70.7. And John Mateer with a solid 68.9 grade in the loss for Oklahoma. Dalton, what told the story in this game?
This game, to me, was always going to be centered around Ty Simpson, his ability to handle pressure, and him and Ryan Grubbs and Kalen DeBoer's ability to adjust to this Brent Venables defense that throws so many different looks at you. And look, through the first 3 drives, it looked ugly. He was 2 for his first 5. Alabama obviously struggles to run the ball. They did struggle to run the ball again in this game, but they made the adjustments in the passing game, whether it was using a little more of the RPO game, coming up to the line of scrimmage quickly, playing with a little more pace, and then Simpson at certain points just making throws down the field that had to be, NFL-type throws, making NFL-type throws. So I think you look at Ty Simpson after those first 3 drives, 86.4 passing grade, 16-24, 220 yards, both of his touchdowns, 2 big-time throws, and the next big number for me is against the blitz, where he struggled so badly in the first game, and he's been struggling really the entire second half of the season, and he was blitzed 55% of the time in this game, 75.6 passing grade, 9 of 16 with a touchdown, 1 big-time throw. That really made the difference. I think as the game went on, they made the adjustments necessary, especially to some of their hots and adjustments in the passing game, going to the formation strength in the passing game, where so often this season, we talked about it in our film breakdown, so often Alabama's hots and their reads off of blitzes were to the weak side of the formation to try to isolate one-on-one matchups. Well, in this game, they went more so if they were 3-by-1, he was going to the trip side with those reads, right? Things like that to work to the strength of the formation, flood zone coverages, and then a couple times that he did get man coverage, particularly with Lahy Brooks out there on the outside, he made big throws when he needed to. This game is what was about Ty Simpson. It really was at the end. And yes, Oklahoma had the big lead. You're going to talk about it. But none of this happens without Simpson making the proper adjustments, learning from the first game. And this was the best he's looked against the blitz in a long, long time.
A big game for Ty Simpson, honestly, for a guy whose draft stock has been falling for a little bit. And Harb's making a great point in the chat, too, saying his draft stock really was rising like a phoenix from the ashes. Absolutely. I mean, this is a game that Ty Simpson needed to have, honestly, because he's been cold for the last month or so. And I want to credit him. I want to credit Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb for, just like you said, finding answers against Oklahoma's blitzes, because everyone knew in the stadium that Brent Venables was going to blitz the ever-living hell out of Ty Simpson in this game, and he did. And Alabama found answers. And Ty Simpson did a great job of bouncing back against the blitz when he has been struggling against the blitz. So we'll see how they do against Indiana. I'm sure Kursignetti, with all the exotic blitz packages he sends with Indiana's defense, that Rose Bowl, again, will be another test for Ty Simpson, but he did look pretty good against Oklahoma. For me, Dalton, it all comes down to the final 7 minutes of that second quarter, man, because Oklahoma was very in control of this game with a 17-0 lead. And then the final 7 minutes of that first half, they completely fell apart, and all of a sudden it was a tie game, and all of a sudden Alabama scored 27 unanswered points and put this game away, honestly. So Alabama scored on a 75-yard touchdown drive. On a 4th and 2, they scored a touchdown from Ty Simpson, again, making a great read to Lahy Brooks right there. Then right after that, Oklahoma punted. Alabama scored a field goal, and then John Mateer threw a horrendous interception to Xavier Brown, which was returned for a touchdown as well. It looked like a miscommunication between John Mateer and his receiver, Keontez Lewis. So maybe it's not completely on John Mateer right there, but it's still a really, really bad interception. So once again, in a span of 7 minutes, you saw a 17-0 Oklahoma lead and a 17-17 tie game, honestly, too. And again, Alabama scored another 10 points unanswered in the second half to go up 27-17. So Oklahoma, they had this game in their hands, and they completely fumbled it away.
Yeah, no, they did. And Oklahoma, as I've mentioned before, I've kind of compared them. I've called them the college football version of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's good and bad, right? Their defense is great, but they have to win the turnover battle in order to win games. And their offense – and John Mateer, this was the best he has looked in a while. Really, the best game that he has played, even with that pick six, since the hand surgery, right? Because that's how much his passing game was struggling. But you saw, I think, every bit of the character of these two teams, both strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, Oklahoma getting off to the good start. But Alabama, some of the things that have defined their season. Number one, Ty Simpson playing like a professional quarterback in this game. Two, how many more timely turnovers are they? I mean, it's not just about, they get a lot of turnovers and they get them at, pretty good times. They get the exact turnover they need, it feels like, in every single one of their wins, right? 2 Bo Prabula interceptions in the Missouri game. 2 Diego Pavia red zone turnovers in the Vanderbilt game. The Xavier Brown pick six against Tennessee that really turned that game upside down. I mean, how many times are they just going to get the exact turnover that they need? And even in this game, you had the drop punt from Oklahoma's punter. They gave Alabama 3 points. It was 17-10, but Oklahoma was rolling pretty well on offense for most of the first half. And then Mateer makes that throw, and the game is tied. And it felt like Alabama could go into halftime and just go, look, this first half was a circus. It was, in a lot of ways, a disaster, and yet we're tied. Let's go be the better football team. So really, and then, even on the weak side, for Alabama and their flaws, you saw pass rush, inconsistent, to say the least. Run game, still basically outside of one carry, non-existent. It just really came down to me, again, Ty Simpson, number one, playing like an NFL quarterback, and 2, the turnover margin. Alabama lost it 3-0 last time. The pick six made a huge difference. The drop punt there that the special teams play before that, which I've never seen that. I've never seen a punter just drop a ball too far in front of him. I mean, it's just insane. But you talk about how quickly the momentum can shift because of those turnovers, and Alabama's been making those happen all season.
I'll tell you what, it was a rough day for Oklahoma special teams out there too.
Yeah, it sure was.
Our Luke Rosa Award winner, the actual Luke Rosa Award winner, Tay Sandell, also missed a couple kicks in that game too, so that a very uncharacteristic misses from him. I believe they're both from 50-plus yards, but again, he was 7 for 7 from 50-plus yards going into that game too. Yeah,
and a short punt that gave Alabama a short field in the second half as well that led to a touchdown.
No, the punter for Oklahoma, really, he struggled out there. It wasn't a great game for him. Dalton, who impressed you the most in this game, though?
Give me the freshman receiver, Lahy Brooks. I mean, you're talking about a day where Ryan Williams had 1 catch for 5 yards. You're talking about a day
how about that? The number 2 for Alabama's defense had a catch before number 2 for Alabama's offense.
True. Yeah. I mean, you look at Lahy Brooks right here, man. I mean, you talk about a kid stepping up. Ryan Williams, 1 catch for 5 yards on Alabama's last real offensive play of the day. Jeremy Bernard made the 1 great catch in the second half, but he only had 3 catches for 40 yards. But Lahy Brooks comes out here and steps up. Just a couple of huge plays, 3 huge plays in particular. Number 1, on Alabama's first touchdown drive, the corner route against man-to-man coverage that really got the drive started. A great throw from Ty Simpson to start. It just felt like that was a play on offense they needed to just take a breath and go, okay, we're not going to go 3 and out every drive of this game. The first touchdown when he broke, 2 or 3 tackles there,
awesome.
Spinning into the end zone.
Too, yeah.
On a hot read, on a blitz for Simpson, and Brooks just makes it happen inside the 5-yard line. And then another corner route for his second touchdown. I mean, just a great throw from Simpson and a great route against, I believe it was Peyton Bowen he was against on that route. And you just look at a young guy like that stepping up. When Ryan Williams is struggling, dropped another pass, I think his 10th of the year in this game. Jeremy Bernard made 1 play but was very quiet otherwise. They still couldn't run the ball. Brooks stepping up like this, what a huge performance, especially against this defense.
And a true freshman too. The fact that he's this good. That
was a theme this weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, man, dude. He was so good. I actually saw a post go viral. So when Lahy Brooks committed to Alabama, I believe Lahy Brooks is only like a 3-star recruit coming out, right? So when he committed to Alabama, I think a lot of people who aren't Alabama fans were quote tweeting and be like, wow, look at how far Alabama's fallen off. They're only getting 3 stars now. Now it's like, hey, that guy's pretty good. I think Kalen DeBoer knew what he was doing. He was recruiting Lahy Brooks, honestly. This guy's a pretty good football player and way better than what he was ranked coming out of high school, too. And, yeah, he is a rising star for Alabama's receiving core right now. And like you said, Ryan Williams was very, very quiet in this game. Jerry Bernard had a pretty solid day out there. Obviously, that unreal catch he had later on in the game, too. But Lahy Brooks, make no mistake, he was the star receiver, and he was the go-to guy for Ty Simpson. I want to shout out the linebackers for Alabama in this one. Both Deontay Lawson and Justin Jefferson were very good in the middle of Alabama's defense. Deontay Lawson had over a 78 PFF grade, over an 82 run defense grade, over a 70 coverage grade. He had 2 run defense stops, 3 coverage stops, also 2 pressures and a sack for Deontay Lawson. For Justin Jefferson, over a 75 PFF grade. Again, 82.5 run defense grade, the exact same run defense grade as Deontay Lawson. He also had a sack and a pressure in this game. He had 3 run defense stops and 2 tackles for loss, a forced completion, and 2 coverage stops too. They were so massive for Alabama's defense in this one. Just, first of all, completely shutting down Oklahoma's run game. Oklahoma was extremely reliant on John Mateer to carry this offense to victory. And listen, John Mateer, I would say, besides the pick 6, pretty solid football game out there against Alabama's elite secondary too. But again, they were so good in the middle of Alabama's defense, and they were absolutely massive in winning this game for Alabama.
A good shout out for both of those guys. I think especially Jefferson, who it's been kind of up and down at times this year. And the only game this year, other than this one where he's graded higher, came against Louisiana Monroe. I could easily argue this was the best game he's played this year. 82.5 run defense grade was his best of the year. When you're Alabama and you're playing a lot of these 3-man fronts on the defensive line, and you're playing a team that we talked about has a lot of design quarterback run, a lot of read option in their offense, you need your linebackers to play great. They were great in this game. It was a big reason they were able to shut down Oklahoma's offense as the game went on and made John Mateer have to beat him with his arm. And for a while in the first half, he did that, but you got to challenge him to do it for 60 minutes. Just couldn't quite get it done there.
Also, want to shout out Keon Keeley. We showed him before. I mean, it's such a cool story for him to show out like this in this massive of a game like this, because Keon Keeley, he was the number 2 overall recruit coming out of high school a few years ago, only behind Arch Manning in that class and right in front of Dante Moore, honestly. And, he's been talked about as a guy that he hasn't really played much for Alabama, so people are calling him a recruiting bust and all that. He's still a young kid. He still has plenty of football ahead of him. It was really cool to see him make an impact like that in this kind of playoff game, too.
For sure. 60 snaps over their last 2 games. He only had 96 all year before that. So you're going to talk about like certain guys you need at this time of year, Brooks and Keeley and Justin Jefferson, guys like that. You need some more guys to step up in times like this. You need a complete football team to continue to move on in the playoffs, and certainly their task isn't going to get any easier against the number 1 team in the country on New Year's Day. But when you have that many guys stepping up who hadn't been stepping up necessarily consistently all year, that makes you a whole lot better. They're going to need a few more of them to get over Indiana, but it's going to be a fun game, I think, and potentially between 2 first-round quarterbacks.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Honestly, it could be 2 top 10 picks at quarterback. We get Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza. But yeah, shout out Keon Keeley, man, for finally showing why he was the number 2 overall recruit coming out of high school a few years ago. Alabama wins. Oklahoma season is over. Alabama moves on to the Rose Bowl in the college football playoff quarterfinals to take on the number 1 team in the country, the Indiana Hoosiers. All right.
Everyone's got takes. Numbers have truth. And the truth is, most people are betting with emotion. Sportsbooks feed on it. TikTok gurus sell it. The hype machine runs on it. That's how you lose. PFF is different. You're betting with winning data. The same data trusted by all 32 NFL teams and the sharpest minds in the game. PFF betting tools take every prop, every matchup, every angle, and run them through our custom models. Built on the best football data in the world. What comes back is your edge. Simple, sharp, and built to win. Want to go deeper? PFF puts a pro-level analytics department in your hands, giving you the same insights teams use to find every advantage. Build your game plan with matchup analysis. Project every snap, every matchup, and every edge before kickoff. Because the smartest plays start long before Sunday. Hit rates show how a player performs against their prop and against defenses built the same way. It's the data that gives you real confidence in every pick. Next, Key Insights translates PFF data into the story behind every matchup, giving you the why that powers your bets. From coverage schemes to defensive looks, it's the context that turns raw numbers into winning decisions. When you're ready to take action, Filter through every prop on the market and focus on the opportunities that matter, by game, matchup, or value. Then, shop for the best available line in your area and tap your book of choice to place the bet instantly. Everyone's got takes, but now you've got truth. Bet with data, win with PFF.